Derby Nation, this is Denouncer Dwayne with Chip Queso. It is time to rock and roll because we are going to see the fifth place game now. It has been a wonderful tournament. We're closing in on the end. It is No Coast versus Houston. It's going to be a nail-biter, Chip.
It is going to be a nail-biter. Hopefully you're joining us here on WFTDA.com. Both of these teams looking for higher hopes this year, but a loss takes you to the lower bracket for the magical fifth-place trophy, if you will. It's the only other way you can end the weekend winning.
Yeah, right.
Other than the championship, obviously. So Houston, the fifth seed coming in, wants to come out. They had expectations to go to Denver. No Coast growing, expanding. Tough loss, obviously, to Texas earlier on and made their way back. So, ladies and gentlemen, you need to stick around because there is a continuation of good derby here at the South Central Regional Playoffs.
No question. Houston and No Coast getting their equipment checks right now. Look at this great No Coast lineup. We have 00 Kelly Rippa-Nipple-Off at number 101 is with Tisha Lesson. 1055 Judo No. Number 11 Velvet Crush. At 187 Nicokilia. At 22 Cleo Smackya. Number 32 the talented jammer Flash Gloria. That's the team captain. 34 DD is Slam Anderson. Number 37 Brooke and Hearts. Number 402 the defensive powerhouse Thicker Than a Snicker. Number 505 Cobra Kai. Number 699 Champagne. And number 726 Dropkick Muffy.
Great lineup there, and I am very proud to represent ladies I know very well from Houston. Hopefully the fans will appreciate everyone around. The Hard Knocks from Houston are 007 Goldie Blocks, number 1491 Wendigo, number 16 Miss Stilla, number 19 Betty Watchett, number 1X Rebel Ann, number 21 Jekyll and Heidi, number 237 Shawshank, number 26, Brand-Aid. Number 30, Wicked Sweet. Number 35, The Prosecutor. 360, The Antichrist. Number 37, Carmen Get It. 88, Radiant DK. And 90210, Beverly Kills. Dwayne, we are about to get this started. We've got crazy No Coast fans in the back of us. You might get ambient noise. Who are we starting this fifth place competition as jammers?
Number 32, Flash Gloria. That is their powerhouse on the jammer line, and they're coming out swinging with her. Brand-Aid on the line for Houston. Both jammers into the pack. And it is Flash Gloria who comes out first. She hit a little bit of turbulence coming in, but comes out clean. Brand-Aid right behind her. Both jammers en route to the back.
Yeah, quicker out the front as Flash Gloria almost always is, as she calls out the jam quickly, getting 2 points to 0 for Houston. But both of these teams very athletic, very speedy, slightly different styles of play, but they do match up very well, Dwayne.
No Coast is the one who scratches the scoreboard first, 2-0. The crowd, like you said, behind us, No Coast, is out of Lincoln, Nebraska. They're just 3 miles up the highway, and a lot of them showed up today.
So lining up for the second jam, 34 Double D Slam Anderson on the inside, wearing white and black. That's for No Coast. Wearing the black with pink accents, the jammer for Houston, Wicked Sweet.
Wicked Sweet did a lot of great things yesterday, actually yesterday and Friday. Wicked Sweet ground out on the inside, though. Slam Anderson on the outside. Oh, man, Wicked Sweet just flight delayed, and Slam Anderson threatening the front of the house. There's a 2-wall of Houston. Oh, they're holding her at bay.
Great defense, except Wicked Sweet gets sent to the boxes. We focused on the pack. We're going to have a power jam for No Coast. Apologies, folks, didn't see the majors. We were focused on all the scrappiness in the pack, but nonetheless, power jam for No Coast.
Slam Anderson still in the pack, has yet to come out the front. She's in a power jam, but they are making her grind it out. Looking for an open lane on the outside, number 16, the defender from Hard Knocks. That is Miss Stilla. How could I miss her? Miss Stilla the killer, just grinding her against the outside. Finally, they let her go. No, a back block. And that's a fourth minor. Can you believe that?
Second jam, both jammers to the box. Meanwhile, the pack kind of scooting backwards there. as a lot of hard hitting early on. This is going to be a bruising bout. Get out your Dr. Hauska. Wicked sweep back out of the penalty box and approaching the back of the pack. About 34 seconds left in this jam, and of course we will go the full 2 minutes here, Dwayne.
That's right. Wicked Sweet back on the track in a power jam. And she is trying to make it through. Kelly Ripanipoff pushes her to the outside on turn 4. Back on her feet in the pack, but there is a 2-wall in front of her. Noco's doing a great job with the defense, huh? Finally she gets through. That was her initial non-scoring run. So, man, all that work, and the jam clock comes to an end on time. Nobody scoring any points after all that. Can you believe it?
Nobody knows that there was no point scored. Actually, we do. Jam 3, yeah, that was an amazing jam there. 26 minutes, 40 seconds and change left. First time to the jam line for Beverly Kills, lining up on the inside for Houston, and lining up for second rotation, Flash Gloria.
Flash Gloria, the team captain. We've got one defender from the Houston side in the box. No Coast has all 4. Flash Gloria is going to try to take advantage of that. Comes off the line. Beverly Kills gets a bump out of Flash Gloria. Flash Gloria hits some defense on the inside. Beverly Kills trying to exploit that fact.
Trying to make her way through. There's a 2-wall up front. Flash Gloria approaching both jammers. She gets the inside line. A great defense in retrospect for No Coast as they push out the jammer, allowing theirs to get lead.
Yeah, you got to give credit to Judo No, the defender for No Coast, because she was the one who kept the jammer from Houston from getting out.
Goldie Blocks gets knocked down, back up quickly. Beverly Kills hitting the back of the pack, but the jam is called off, Dwayne. What a wonderful, amazing weekend, and it's still not over. A lot of people helping out to put this together. Big props to Kansas City Roller Warriors for hosting an amazing event.
Yeah, so far it's been a great tournament, and we're closing in on the best part.
Best part, you mean Cleo Smakia up against Brand-Aid?
I mean, yes, exactly. This very moment. Cleo Smakia versus Brand-Aid. Standing on the line. We got a full defense on both sides. Off the line comes the jammers and immediately grinding into one another.
Oh, Brand-Aid does a good job of pushing her out and then gets the lead on the inside. Lead jammer Brand-Aid for Houston. Meanwhile, stuck in the back of the pack, Cleo Smaku is doing damage yesterday, but the 2-wall of Jacqueline Heidi and Rebel Ann up front.
Brand-Aid plunging into the pack. She is lead jammer in scoring position.
Finally getting some points on the board. Nice whip on the outside by Carmen Get-It. 5-point grand slam for Brand-Aid.
Brooke and Hartz almost stopped her, but she slipped right out. Now, the jammer cleared for takeoff. Cleo Smakia on the No Coast side, so both jammers in scoring position, but Brand-Aid's going to get there for a second scoring run. Enters the pack. She gets 2 and has to shut it off because Cleo Smakia is hot on her tail, but with 7 points unanswered for Houston.
Nice entrance to the back of the pack as she shouted some orders and got a little help, and then made a nice move around Kelly Ripanipoff, who's back in the pack again. She is one of the mainstay blockers for No Coast. And once again, of course, as No Coast tends to do, they rely heavily on number 32, Flash Gloria. And who is that on the line, number 30? It looks like a Wicked Sweet.
That she is, Wicked Sweet and Flash Gloria, a full defense on both sides. Once again, just slowly coming off the pivot line.
7-4 is the score. Houston up top now, 23 minutes and change to go. Quickly out and around in turn 2 for lead jam. Flash Gloria, people in No Coast. Fans are jumping on their feet early on here.
Flash Gloria, the MVP of No Coast in last year's South Central Region playoffs. That was hosted by No Coast.
She just passed Wicked Sweet, who's stuck in the back of the pack, so she's got that jammer lap point. As we have the tap on the helmet up against Bastilla, and that looks like that is the Angie Christ up front, doing everything she can, Dwayne.
Jeez. Angie Christ has been such a beautiful addition to the Houston defense. And you're seeing it right now as Flash Gloria just held at bay. Finally gets out the front of the pack to complete her first scoring run. A 5-point grand slam to put No Coast back on top. And with just under a minute left in the jam, she's got time to go back for more.
Wicked Sweet trying to make that move through. One more player to go, getting help from Wendigo, but she has not made it through the pack yet. Meanwhile, Flash Gloria has multiple times made it through the pack. Through again, past the jammer, but stuck up front that wall of Houston.
Flash Gloria having such a hard time with that 3 wall in the front this time. Of course, she's already completed 1 scoring run. And there goes Brand-Aid finally out of the front of the pack. Now remember, that was still her initial pass, so a little bit of room to work for Flash Gloria, and she comes out the front of the pack. That's going to be another 5-point grand slam because she had already gotten the jammer lap point, so 10 unanswered points. It's going to be 14-7 No Coast over Houston. Game day coverage on WFTDA.com, brought to you in part by Adam Wheels, the official wheel of the WFTDA.
And Rydell Skates, also the proud partner and official skate of the WFTDA. Get your Rydell Skates and your Adam Wheels together. The WFTDA will give you a thumbs up, and you will skate awesome. Back to the action, Dwayne.
9:02.1. Oh, that's Beverly Kills. And Dropkick Muffy jamming for the first time for No Coast.
Not often used here this weekend as a jammer, but they have been putting her in, sprinkling it in. They put her in early here, but she is stuck in the back of the pack. Meanwhile, trying to swim her way through as she does, getting out front. Not lead jammer, though. A minor back block. Beverly Kills out front.
So Dropkick Muffy, another chance, but I think that she got a cut track. Let's see. Yep, she is also ineligible. Oh, no. It wasn't cut because the defender was out also, but it's a no pass, no penalty, and so we have no lead jammer. It is 1:09 left in the jam, so sit back and enjoy. Beverly Kills makes her first scoring pass. It is for 4 points, and now Dropkick Muffy is looking to answer it.
But she's stuck behind, Goldie Blocks and Carmen get it up front with Rebel and the bruising defense, who seems to be playing a little more cohesive here today than earlier this weekend, which is a good thing. Is right around the outside whip, hip, if you will. Beverly Kills for a grand slam.
That's certainly going to help Houston's cause, putting them back on top, 16-14, 20 minutes left in the first half.
Pack going through the front stretch again, stuck behind Rebel Ann is Dropkick Muffy. Meanwhile, Beverly Kills back through. 24 seconds left in jam number 6 here, and she gets through 5 grand slam points.
Big cheer from the Houston fans in the crowd as Dropkick Muffy still stuck behind this 4 wall of Houston defense. No Coast still missing a blocker in the box, and Beverly Kills is going to get another pass.
Got the jammer lap point there, tapped through, 1 to get past, but the jam ended, so she got 4 great jam, 14 points. Beverly Kills now 25-18 because No Coast got a few as well.
So a monster jam to swing the lead back in Houston's favor. Got just under 20 minutes left. Already some penalties starting to accumulate on the whiteboard.
Penalties have been a killer for both of these teams this weekend, so that could be a determining factor. As lining up on the inside for Houston is Brand-Aid, and first time on the line for No Coast, Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai is an excellent jammer. We have seen plenty of her in the last couple of years. Houston taunting them off the pivot line.
Or requesting a dance-off, but it's derby time. The jammers are off, approaching the back of the pack, both taking outside line respectively. Brand-Aid Dwayne is getting stuck there behind that wall of No Coast.
Failing to take the situation seriously. Dangerous business when Cobra Kai is on the line, but Brand-Aid ground out by the No Coast defense. Last line of defense now.
Now, interesting point, Brand-Aid got out of the pack. She gets a no pass, no foul, no penalty call there, but she kind of tripped the player from No Coast while she was out of bounds. I guess that's the call, but meanwhile, she's back in the back of the pack and scoring points for Houston.
No Coast putting up a pretty good 4 wall in the back, and their jammer still trying to get out the front of the pack. Cobra Kai, that she's got all 3 Houston. And look at this. No Coast got a blocker trap, so the three in the front have to let her go. Good work by the defense, but, of course, Brand-Aid the lead jammer, so to no avail.
Frustrating for Cobra Kai because she could have gotten no points, but the referee, a slight stall as he follows his eyes. Of course, much respect to the referees. They have a lot to look at, but she was calling it off, and it took a little bit of time. Those points might have been avoided. Regardless, they got the points back to the line. Jam number 8.
27-18, 17-17 left in the first half. No Coast of Lincoln, Nebraska in white. Houston in black. Flash Gloria jamming for No Coast.
Mastilla gets knocked down, gets recycled by the pack. Flash Gloria trying to go into the outside. Mastilla also taking an outside pass, thicker than a snicka. Lead jammer, Flash Gloria.
Goldie Blocks had just a piece of her out the front of the pack, could not hold her. So Flash Gloria cleared for takeoff. Now Mastilla the Killer comes out the front of the pack also, but looks like Flash is going to get there first. Plunges into the back. Oh, the outside line wide open, and she takes over. 4 unanswered points.
4 points the hard way. Geometry on the outside. Great work by Flash Gloria, who continues to grow and grow as a jammer. Every year I've seen her, Dwayne, she is absolutely amazing. Jam number 9, 27-22 in favor of Houston. 16 minutes, 15 seconds here in period number 1.
Slam Anderson on the line for No Coast. Beverly Kills.
For Houston. Both jammers as everybody was down on a knee for No Coast. Getting the pack quick inside line. Beverly Kills. Outside for Slam Anderson. She gets knocked down in the middle of the pack, but still gets lead jammer, even though recycled by the entire pack in the back.
Beverly Kills still trying to come out the front of the pack first. If she does, though, then Slam Anderson just going to shut it down anyway. That's exactly what happens. There's no reason for Slam Anderson to leave this thing open, and as you would expect, she does not. Shuts it down.
Great kill of that penalty by the defense for Houston, taking over, forcing that 0-0 as a win on that early on. 5 points. Looks like it can make a difference, and I wouldn't be surprised if just a few 5 points or less makes the difference at the end, Dwayne.
Very close game so far, exactly what we suspected. Once again, we have Flash Glory on the line facing off against Brand-Aid. A knee taken by No Coast.
I would be interested to see a statistic we won't see probably unless it takes some hard math, and that is how many times or how much percentage of the time they've used Flash Glory as a jammer compared to like the main jammer for any of the other teams, because she is on for her 2nd rotation in a row and her 5th in 9 jams.
Yeah, a light jammer bench like that is going to result in fatigue late in the game. Oh, Flash Gloria, all the blockers out of play, and that was Wendigo on the Houston side who continued to block way out in front, so to the box she goes. Flash Gloria en route, but now it's like Brand-Aid has come out the front of the pack, so Flash Gloria will be limited to a 4-point pass at max.
Oh, we've got a cut on. It looks like that is Carmen Get It going to the box as that jam is called. Carmen Get It for Houston. 4 points for Flash Gloria.
That brings it within 1 point. 27-26. Houston over No Coast. 14 minutes left in the first half.
Look on that beautiful scoreboard. It says Dr. Hauschka. What is it about Dr. Hauschka there? They're fresh faces there, Dwayne.
Well, the Dr. Hauschka's Fresh Faces of Derby, you've been seeing it at halftime every game this weekend and the 2 weekends before it and the weekend afterwards, and it is some of the up-and-coming faces in Derby.
Absolutely. As this jam starts, it's Cleo Smakia for No Coast and Mastilla also getting knocked down for Houston. Both jammers, but a major cut, Cleo Smakia to the box. Power jam, Houston.
Mastilla, the lead jammer, en route to the back of an abbreviated pack, a micro pack, a true power jam. Only 2 blockers on either side. One of them's Kelly Rip a Nipple Off, who just hits the deck.
Now this is where they're going to have to be careful because we have got Mastilla with a minute and change, a micro pack, although 1 blocker was added back to the pack and now taken out. there's not a lot that you can do, and as much as she can get around, she's going to try to twist the nail a little bit and crank up some more points.
Well, so far so good, 37-26, and she's going back for another grand slam if she can get it. Houston has a full defense now, and NoCo's still missing 2 of their people, so that's going to make it even easier for her. And now Kelly Repanipoff sent to the box. So bad news in No Coast right now.
35 seconds to go. That is her 4th, if I have my math correct. So that is 20 points. The pack is finally moving. Cleo Smackett is out of the box, so it's going to be a little more difficult to get those points on there. But Houston doing their defense. Jekyll Heidi holding serve, but still around. Gets the Jammer Lap point, Dwayne. And that is another grand slam.
A 25-point jam so far. If my math is right. Is that 5? I believe it was.
Well, math is hard, as you know, Dwayne. They had 27 going into this jam. We'll count later. Meanwhile,
25.
The jam is called.
25, and it looks like she got 3 more, so a 28-point jam to break this game wide open as Houston puts the hammer down.
There is no better way than break open a game and forcing a timeout is that Jam 10, they had 27 points. In one jam, ladies and gentlemen, Still the Killa just overdid herself, or her team, if you will, by 1.28 points. One jam, double their score.
Jeez, that's how it's done. That is how it's done. No Coast taking a timeout to talk about how they're going to match that and how many jams it's going to take. We will see very soon. Elemental Technologies is the world's most powerful video processing solutions. If you have video processing problems, they have the solutions. Elemental Technologies.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry,
Excuse me?
Chip. No, you go ahead.
No, you're more important because it's about sponsors and cool people.
Okay, very good. Derby Skins, you know them. They love making your shiny hiney, vice versa. They'll make any custom thing you want. They're the choice of such luminaries of the Derby world as, well, basically everybody.
Exactly. As we wind down going into jam number 11, we'll go ahead and get back to the action on the track. Flash Gloria once again on the outside of the track, and Beverly Kills for Houston lining up on the inside. Micro Pack once again.
Wow!
Big jammer hit. Dwayne, I'll let you run with that one.
Good God. Flash Gloria sent packing by Beverly Kills, and Beverly Kills does not look back. Lead jammer Houston. Good grief. And look at this, Oh, man, a low block major on Flash Gloria. She goes to the box. They lose a blocker at the same time. It's a micro pack on both sides, and we've got the makings of a repeat of the last jam that we just saw, which is bad news for No Coast.
Zippity bang, and around the outside goes Beverly Kills, getting a grand slam there. Now Houston trying to goat until she gets called. There's only one in the box because there are girls standing, which means there's a seat available. One on the box, and she knocks out Beverly Kills, Dwayne. What a crazy jam.
Finally, two blockers back on the track for No Coast, but Beverly Kills already doing her worst. Another grand slam. You can hear the No Coast fans behind us don't like this one bit, but geez, they just broke the game wide open, and then now they're stepping on the pieces.
Nothing that Kelly Repanipoff and Thicker Than a Snicka can do with Beverly killing it on the track. Going around to the back stretch, looks like she might lock and load. Another one is about 25 seconds left in this jam.
Yes.
Big
Flash Glory on one foot, trying to keep her balance. Does not do so.
You don't get anything for a ref takeout. Flash Glory back in, being held up by the Antichrist. Beverly Kills still getting another grand slam. Now, I think she only got 4, if I made correction. So if that is correct, 9 grand slams. We'll have to do some math again. But, geez, and another timeout, Dwayne.
So 45 points exclusively through grand slams to vault them to 75-26. Can you believe it, Chip? Under 10 minutes left to go in the first half.
This is
nice fans, though.
Exactly. Now, this is what it is. Let's talk about this a little bit because obviously
you see them on your screen right now.
Yeah, we know that No Coast had good fans here behind us. No Coast is a great team. They've been up and coming.
I like the flourish down in the lower right corner.
So as I was saying, you've got No Coast up and coming. They've got a lot of talent. The wheels seem to be falling off a little. They're more discombobulated than they have been this weekend, but they've got world of talent. Much props to them. And by the way, they hosted a wonderful regional last year.
They did.
Okay, now to Houston. Houston's been a little discombobulated in the first period all week, but today they are putting it together and not allowing No Coast to come back in, at least as of yet.
Well, Houston has a lot of willpower, as we were saying yesterday. Their comeback in the Atlanta game on Friday, they were down by 60 points. And then they, all at once, were able to come back almost all the way. They brought it back within 10 points. So Houston knows how to be very productive in a short amount of time, and now they've done it again in the first half.
As you can see on your screen, we've got a pretty intense conversation with the coaches, or at least the coach from No Coast, and it looks like Jekyll and Heidi, the captain for Houston, along with the coach Chicken there. I see in the middle for, excuse me, Dwayne, yes?
On your screen right now, you're getting a little sneak peek at the whiteboard, and you can see that there are 3 penalties for a number of No Coast players. One of them was Judo No, the defender.
And
there were a couple more.
Broken Hearts, it looks like I could see their number 37.
So they're going to have to watch that because there's going to be a lot of fourth minors, and they can possibly happen all at once.
Especially with 9 minutes, 27 seconds to go here. It is a very contested bout, no doubt. You guys can see it on the screen. The score not really necessarily depictive of it, but Houston really tightening the screws, playing basically, Dwayne, like they expected to play all weekend. And No Coast needs to turn it around. They've got it. Let's see if they can do it as we start up here in a minute again.
White team challenge the score on the last jam. Score stands. Black team challenge.
Number 26.
Previous jam call stands.
Oh.
I want to challenge something.
If you didn't catch the head ref down there, the reason for the official timeout, there were a couple of challenges put up by the No Coast side, but the call does stand. Flash Gloria facing off against Brand Aid as the action gets back underway.
Rebelland in the penalty box for Houston. It looks like from this vantage 2 players in the box for No Coast. Of course, if they have 2 on the track, as Brandon takes a hop skip inside line for Lee Jammer Houston.
Brand Aid blasts right out the front of the pack. Flash Gloria behind it, looking for an open lane. Finds one on the inside. There's one defender in her way on the Houston side. That is Goldie Blocks. And holds her at bay, at least for the time being, long enough for Brand Aid to catch up again in scoring position as she gets the jammer lap point, and Brand Aid going to get a grand slam. Man, Flash Gloria.
Meanwhile, big hit by Jekyll and Heidi. Flash Gloria was set. Dropkick Muffy was set and picked off by Jekyll and Heidi, but she does make it back through the front of the pack. She, of course, is not lead jammer because that status is for Brand Aid, who's through the pack, calling it off. 5 more points.
Unanswered by Dropkick Muffy, and you're right, we were calling her Flash Gloria earlier in
Dropkick Muffy.
We were calling her Flash Gloria in error. But now
we'll check the tape. I'm going to say it was you.
Yeah, it was. I confess. But now we do have Flash Gloria on the line, and she is facing off against Wicked Sweet. No Coast has all 4 blockers to only 2 on the Houston side, and therefore they want to get the jam started as soon as possible, so they take a knee. Flash Gloria comes off the line. There's a 2-wall in the front. Tries to sneak to the outside, and wow, 2 blockers on the No Coast side taken out at once.
A true triple threat is Flash Gloria, because just as she's trying to break through the 2-wall of Houston, she sees Wicked Sweet behind her, plays a little defensive as she's trying to go through offensively. What a talent is Flash Gloria, but right now she's behind the talented Wendigo and Carmen Get It until lead jam No Coast.
So No Coast happy to receive this news, and they've got their full defense still and only 2 on the Houston side. That's how it was thus far. Now they get a defender back. Flash Gloria with a big bump on Brand-Aid sends her packing. Flash Gloria gets a penalty for it. It was a 4th minor back block. Oh, no, excuse me. It was a major back block. Crowd behind us not happy with that call at all. Neither is the team you would have to expect.
Man, they are going. The Boo Birds are out, but getting advantage there is Wicked Sweet because we've got a power jam. We are going to go the full 2 minutes because, of course, as soon as she went to the box, lead jam is gone, and there is only 1 designation per jam. She makes it through for a 5-point Wicked Sweet Grand Slam.
Wicked Sweet closing in on a stationary pack, a loose pack. She's going to have no problem with that. Well, there is a 3-wall in the front that holds her for a minute on the No Coast side, trying to eat up this penalty.
Between turns 3 and 4 comes the pack. Wicked Sweet stuck behind the 3-wall, like you said, Dwayne, of No Coast, trying to stave off some of the point scoring and hopefully get their jam out of the box, of which Flash Gloria just stood, so a few seconds, but this jam is over.
4 points do go on the board, but Flash able to answer 2 of them. Now Beverly Kills going to the line for Houston in black. No Coast dressed in white. Still has Flash Gloria in the box. Houston missing 1 defender. That is number 19, Betty Watchett. It is currently 89-28 with just under 5.5 minutes left in the first half of this game. No Coast trying to turn things around.
They line up at the back. Everybody goes down on a knee. Jammer release quickly. Beverly Kills trying to make her way to the outside, following. It looks like that is the Antichrist that she was following, but there is a fast-paced wall. Meanwhile, Flash Gloria got out of the penalty box and gets lead jam, Dwayne.
That's got to make them happy. No Coast has some ground to catch up on. It's 89-28. Hear the vuvuzela of the mighty Mount Crushmore. Announcer on the showroom floor for No Coast. Flash Gloria, the lead jammer, making her way back to the pack, and Beverly Kills finally breaks out of the pack, so both jammers in scoring position, and Flash Gloria will not get the jammer lap point, but she does get a 4-point pass, calls the jam.
Flash Gloria makes a cut, tucks down, and gets a swipe of an elbow, at least it looked like it, as she rubs part of her eye. Tough cookie she is, and great jam for No Coast. 32-89. A ton of time left, considering that there's another period and 4 minutes.
Cleo Smakia standing on the line for No Coast. She faces off against Brand-Aid. There are 3 defenders on either side of this track right now.
3 up front trying to control the pace is Houston. 3 in the back, thicker than a snicka. Kelly ripping nibble off, and that is number 101, Letitia Lesson for No Coast. Finally, the jammers are released, Wayne.
And they find that 3-wall of No Coast in the back and a 3-wall of Houston in the front. And Brand-Aid is the first one through. Lead jammer Houston.
One of the things that Houston does very, very good is they don't stay stagnant when they get stuck. They hop around, they bounce around on their feet, which allows them to be agile. Nice jumping and staying right inside the line. Brand-Aid, lead jam, now scoring points.
Unfortunately for Cleo Smakia, she does not exhibit any of that fancy footwork this second, and Brand-Aid is going to get the jammer lap point, and looks like she's going to get the whole shebang. She does. 5-point grand slam. Brand-Aid.
Doing a great job for Houston. And meanwhile, Houston is still back there doing a great job until finally Cleo Smacker makes her way through, but not before reaching the back of the pack again is Brand-Aid. More points for Houston.
Cleo Smakia now in scoring position is going to keep Brand-Aid down to only 3 points, 8 unanswered. on the jam for Houston, and they are getting dangerously close to triple digits. 97-32, 2.5 minutes left in the first half.
Houston's got to be very proud. All the fans out there in Texas cheering on. The Derby brothers guzzling their refreshments as this goes on. But, of course, the fans in Lincoln, Nebraska, No Coast, great people, trying to put Flash Gloria, or put her team on her back. Again, she's on the jam line with Beverly Kills.
Beverly Kills in the back of the pack. Flash Gloria comes out the front. Lead jammer, No Coast. Derby Girls, Mad Maxine's the name of the team.
Of all the of all the lead jammers that No Coast has had, only once has it not been Flash Gloria. You can see why that team puts her on the back. She makes a nice inside move, another grand slam for her. That is the medicine that they need going into halftime to get back in this one, Dwayne.
Oh, man. Flash Gloria just runs right into the back of the pack. Oh, taken down.
Rebel Ann and Wendigo holding her back. Great job there, doing what they can defensively. So we still have a minute left in this jam.
97-37, 60-point lead.
One of the fans behind is yelling, "It's about time."
Evidently, it's about time.
It is. Oh, it's about time.
Well, that's true, too.
Yes.
I can't deny that.
Rebel Ann sent off for playing too hard and awesome. Not sure what the penalty was, same with Wendigo. But meanwhile, speaking of awesome, another grand slam for Flash Gloria.
Beverly Kills now plunges into the pack, taken down in the backfield by Kelly Rippa-Nippleoff. Correction, she stays on her feet, finds herself a big penalty. It goes to the box, and Flash Gloria in a power jam on the outside, untouched, picks up a 5-point grand slam, going back for more. Flash Gloria, they are so happy in this stadium right now. Oh, that looked like a bad hit. It looks like it was okay, but what a hit it was. She calls the jam. You see the No Coast fans behind us. What a motley crew this is.
This is how you describe what just happened. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I watch from 32 points to 53 points. Now they're in that margin that is not insurmountable for No Coast.
And that's going to be the halftime score. It's 97-53. Listen to these fans. What a nice bit of good news right before halftime.
Wow, that is just great stuff. So once again, out there, we are so glad that you are watching us on WFTDA.com here at the South Central Regional Playoffs here in Kansas City, Missouri. Another barn burner here on day 3, Dwayne.
Oh, look at that, a 1-point adjustment. It's actually 97-52.
Derby Nation, thank you for joining us back here in historic Municipal Auditorium, Kansas City, Missouri. Announcer Dwayne about to join me. I'm Chip Queso here, about to start period number 2 between No Coast and Houston. Houston currently up 97-52. Announcer Dwayne now got the headphones on. You were writing down one of the important stats that we've been looking at is the determination, and that is penalties. Yeah,
this is the kind of game where you have to have some penalty stats from the first half, and Houston has 46 minors, 33 minutes total, 46 minors for 16 minutes total served in the box for the whole team. Only 10 on the No Coast side as we are just about to get action underway. Houston basically with way more penalties in the first half. There are 2 players, number 1X Rebel Ann as well as 1491 Wendigo with 4 trips to the box now. Number 37 Carmen Gettit has 5. the most of any no-coast player is Judo No with 3. Back to the action, we got Flash Gloria, the jammer for no-coast, with lead jammer.
That is correct. Meanwhile, Beverly Kills, who got sent to the penalty box at the end of the first half, is sitting in that. So power jam for Flash Gloria, making it through quickly. Seas were parted past Jekyll and Heidi. 5 points for Flash Gloria. Dwayne, I've got a couple of stats to share with you, but we'll wait till the end of this jam here. She's approaching the back of the pack. Standing, though, is Beverly Kills, knocked out by Jekyll and Heidi.
Flash Gloria almost completes another scoring run. Now she does it. Wow, a swing and a miss by the defender from Houston. And Flash Gloria completes a 5-point scoring run. That was Jekyll and Heidi was the defender from Houston.
50 seconds left here in this jam, 97-62. Considerable dent in that deficit No Coast is making, but Beverly Kills approaching the pack. See what she can do, but not before the jam is called off. 4 more points, Flash Gloria. Wow.
Moral of the story on the penalties is that it seemed like No Coast had more in the first half, but Houston has way more by far.
Okay, unofficial announcer stats as I take up here, but hopefully very close. Interesting here, Dwayne, we've got only 6 lead jams in the first period for Houston, 8 for No Coast. So they had more lead jams, but the difference was 15 grand slams by Houston versus only 7 for No Coast. Tail of the 97-52 halftime. Now, this jam, 66-97.
So No Coast doing consistent chip damage, and Houston with the big uppercuts.
Meanwhile, it looks like that is Slam Anderson, your lead jammer, on a tear. Must have been a halftime fire speech for No Coast. Meanwhile, Brand-Aid stuck in the back of the pack for No Coast.
Just under 800 people watching right now.
Oh, yeah, that's a great thing to let everybody know. There are 800-ish people out there watching this amazing 5th place bout as Brand-Aid gets sent to the box for her 4th minor, which happened to be a track cut, power jam, and grand slam. I'll get it all in one sentence there, Dwayne, for No Coast.
Things are suddenly kind of looking up in Lincoln, Nebraska. Slam Anderson with another 5-point grand slam to make it 97-76. Boy, they are getting so close. 21 points out, and she's going back for more. A stationary pack. Slam Anderson plunges into it. A 2-wall in the front. On the outside! Judo No. Holding her at bay. Takes her down.
And that's going to be a back block major falling onto the back of Bastilla the Killa. Now she's being sent out. That jam is killed for No Coast, but nonetheless, some damage being done. We're going to have a switching of the jammers in the penalty box, Dwayne.
So Brand-Aid gets to come back out of the box. Houston keeping it stationary. Now they have all 4 defenders on the line. Kelly Ripa-Nippoloff takes a swipe at her. It does not happen. So Brand-Aid immediately in scoring position. Plunges into the pack, untouched on the inside. No, not quite untouched on the inside. Judo No gets a piece of her, but it's not enough to hold her at bay, and 5 points taken back. Oh, and incidentally, Flash Gloria did get 4 more points before she went to the box. So it's going to be 102-80, and suddenly No Coast is only 22 points out.
Well, Nail Biter may not even describe this. Those folks there in Lincoln are going nuts. Meanwhile, the fans in Houston are holding onto their seats, having faith that their team can pull out this win. Houston switching around a first period team instead of a second period team, but early on, but I think they can pull it out. We'll see. No Coast is really a hungry animal right now.
Well, like those stats we gave you at the top of the half said on penalties, Houston's got a lot more, so that may come back to bite them in the end. This time they got lead jammer Brand-Aid pushed out on the outside.
That's Bastille the Killa there, Dwayne. No problem.
Excuse me.
Not a problem at all. Brand-Aid was in the jam before, but now she gets sent off. She was also talking about penalties, and she gets herself a major there. I had a short chat with her before the bout, and that was a very big deal, but she's sitting in the box. Slam Anderson is not.
Slam Anderson moving toward the back of a fast-moving pack. Mastilla serving her sentence. It's a pretty thick wall in the front. She has got some hands in the air.
They go to the prosecutor back in the back. She's helpless without her whistle and without help from her defense from Houston. As meanwhile, Slam Anderson scoring 5 more points. 50 seconds left in this jam. To the box, Jekyll and Heidi for Houston. And the prosecutor, Dwayne, also going. Houston having that penalty troubles that they were worried about.
That's not going to make things any easier for Houston to defend this onslaught from Slam Anderson. Whatever adjustments No Coast made in the half, it is working. Another 5-point grand slam for Slam Anderson. And suddenly No Coast within 12 points. Slam Anderson en route for another one, but Mastilla back out of the box. She completes her initial scoring run, and that's a 5-point grand slam.
Mastilla the killer. Matching that out of the box, trying to stop off and stave the bleeding as we are only in jam number 3, period number 2. Tons of time. The pace at an incredible pack pace, Dwayne. Wow.
A no pack call right at the end, and actually going back for another scoring run backfires as Mastilla gets 3 points and Slam Anderson gets none. Slam Anderson gets none on the final scoring run. That makes it 110-90, a 20-point lead by Houston currently. Flash Gloria back on the line.
What do you do? And like you said, you put Flash Gloria on the line. And quickly, from the first period, 9 jams for Flash Gloria, 8 lead jams out of the 16 jams in the first period. This is her second jam here in period number 2. And she does what she does, and she does. Lead jammer, Flash Gloria.
Eats up that inside line. You leave the inside line undefended, and Flash Gloria is going to eat it up.
Goldie blocks to the box for Houston. More penalty trouble. Meanwhile, Beverly Kills making it through and out of the front of the pack. Flash Gloria stuck behind Rebel Ann, and that looks like Jekyll and Heidi.
Four-point pass by Flash Gloria, and she shuts it down. It is a 16-point lead by Houston, and Houston obviously spooked by this momentum that No Coast is showing suddenly takes a timeout. That's a cool-down timeout for No Coast is what it is.
Gathered around quickly by their coach Chicken, and of course the bench manager there, Sick Nick, along trying to turn around what they had going into the first half. And, of course, vice versa, No Coast calmly on the bench, just letting it happen jam by jam.
Carmen Geddet once again with 5 trips to the box so far. I don't know that she's had another one in the second half, but this is going to be adding up on Houston in the second half. Chip.
Often jam by jam, bout by bout, region by region, the world of roller derby. 5on5 magazine, the official magazine, the WFTDA at 5on5.com. If you haven't seen it, you need to. If you don't have a subscription, you should. Await in your mailbox. That's 5on5.com, the official magazine of the WFTDA.
The tea break is over. Action resumes. Brand-Aid jamming for Houston, facing off against Clea Smakia. Clea Smakia threatening the front of the house sooner. But there is one defender, the pivot on the Houston side that holds her at bay, and Brand-Aid comes out of nowhere. Lead jammer Houston.
Angie Christ doing a job on Clea Smakia, being joined by Wendigo to hold up and try to slow down this pack to help Brand-Aid out. They need the points for Houston. No Coast needs to play some stout defense with that wall of white in the back.
Clea Smakia just being neutralized by this 3-wall in the front of the house.
Well, you know, Dwayne, here you've got a concentration. Until now, she breaks through and goes on the outside. Both teams were focused in front of the back of the pack. They finally came together, and out comes for a grand slam, Brand-Aid.
Man, and that momentum by No Coast up until the last jam suddenly slowed down by Brand-Aid and the defense of Houston, which is absolutely just keeping Clea Smakia frozen in place. A 3-wall on all sides of her. She cannot break out.
That is a 3-wall of one-year new Houston girls. They're glad to have her as Cleo Smakia gets by. That Wendigo from Bay Area. That was the Antichrist, a forward executioner. And joining her was also Flying Maiden, who played for, I believe, one of the Arkansas teams. So Houston glad to have it. They did damage on that, and up to 120 to 94.
Wow, this is a game. There is life in this game.
If those 700-800 people out there watching aren't texting their friends going, are you seeing this? Are you seeing this? Go to WFTDA.com, get the upgrade now, because we've got 20 minutes left, and it's going to be a pretty good end of this, I'm assuming. That is Bastille the Killer, number 16 for lead jammer. And, out first. She's not lead, excuse me. Minor track cut. And jamming for No Coast, that is Dwayne.
That is Flash Gloria. But on a cut track minor, she is ineligible to be lead jammer. And it looks like the first trip through completed now by Mistilla the Killer, and she gets a 4-point pass. Remember, Flash Gloria now getting her first scoring run.
On the inside, but around the outside from Carmen Giddett, she does, getting her points for, but Bastilla's already back in the midst of the pack. She's already passed at least 1 or 2 sets of hips, so she should be scoring points there as we are winding down. Still a minute left in this jam.
Beautiful defense in the back of the house by the defender for the Mad Maxines. That is thicker than a snicker. And that allows Flash Gloria to get in front. Four unanswered.
Bastille the Killer goes down, so does Wicked Sweet, both up quickly, but back in the middle of the pack is Bastilla. She is still scoring points, but quickly approaching is the one known as Flash Gloria. Jammer lap point, grand slam for her, Dwayne.
Houston may be well served to just cut their losses for this jam, because suddenly No Coast gaining some momentum again. Flash Gloria seemingly unstoppable. Enters the pack once again. It's a loose pack. Oh no, they should. Yep. So now Flash Gloria in a power jam after Mistilla incurs a 4th minor for a cut track.
And that is the end of the jam. Wow. Interesting
man.
on the strategy. Maybe you're right. Maybe it should have been called off. Flash Gloria does what she does. You know, the statement that's made a cliche all around sports, you can only hope to contain her, is very true with her. There's no doubt about it. And Houston does not want to go away from this going, we got beat by a team, obviously, but mainly by one player.
If No Coast were to pull off the 5th place spot in this tournament, then their growth curve continues. I mean, they've really gone rags to riches, and it's been a steady gradient over the last 4 years.
Yeah, absolutely. And Houston been one of those teams. They'll be the first to tell you they've straddled that line for a long time. They've been to the big dance before, but they haven't seemed to be able to put together that season that you can obviously see talent. It's just a matter of putting the pieces of the puzzle together. And this year, they were hoping for a lot, and now it's turning out that they've got this opportunity. Let's hope that they can hold off. 128 to 109 here in this official timeout. What a great bout.
You see the defense of No Coast talking there. There's Champagne and Dropkick Muffy having a word with Brooke in Hearts.
Many people out there may recognize the coach for No Coast, formerly on the bench of the Denver Roller Dolls a couple of years back, and now helping out here at No Coast. We're about to get this jam started again, Dwayne.
128 to 109, 18:05 left in the contest. Houston over No Coast so far. No Coast showing some momentum. Last time they were really on a roll. Houston called a timeout, and it cooled them off a little bit. They tried to do it again. Both jammers in the box. Look at this. Both jammers in the box as it starts.
Did I miss something, or did you miss something?
I think we both missed something.
Flash Gloria went to the box. They're both standing. Mistilla should be coming out, but they're both coming out. I apologize. We need to get some clarification there. When Mistilla went to the box at the end of that jam, Flash Gloria was doing well, and then we got off to a conversation. But your lead jammer is Mistilla the Killer, Dwayne.
We had to analyze a little bit. Mistilla the Killer, so yeah, timeout called, and Once again, Houston comes out strong afterwards, so a little bit of strategy there in calling timeouts. A little momentum shift. Mistilla, back block major to the box she goes, and that was pretty unmistakable.
Oh, man, it's such a difficult thing for a jammer because sometimes you just can't put on the brakes quick enough and you force that. It's all about moving them from relative position as Flash Gloria relatively positions herself past Jekyll and Hyde and through the pack very quickly. Meanwhile, Flash Gloria approaching the back of the pack, still stuck is Mistilla. Now she's making her way through, but on the outside, Flash Gloria.
Mistilla comes out the front of the pack, but Flash Gloria just flattened on the outside between turns 2 and 3. Mistilla en route to the back. It is a no pack. You don't sew that up, it's going to be awfully tough to block against Mistilla. They close it back up. And Flash Gloria takes advantage. She comes out the front of the pack. It's 4 points. They close it up before Mistilla gets there, but then she finds an open lane on the outside. And those 4 points answered by Mistilla.
And that noise you just heard was Rebel Ant slamming into the penalty boxes. We've got a microphone down there close to the penalty box, so live action, you get to hear the hits. Meanwhile, 4 more points for Flash Gloria as one of her blockers gets sent off. Nice whip, care of Goldie blocks for Mistilla.
Rebel, I'm sorry, Chip.
No, she was hoping for 2 points, but did not. Dwayne.
Rebel Ann actually spent 4 minutes in the box in the first half, so I don't know if that's the first time she's been there in the second half.
I believe it has.
So that's her 5th trip to the box. She's getting kind of close there.
Carry the 1, yeah, 5th. On the line for No Coast, Cobra Kai jamming up against Brand-Aid for Houston. Houston wearing black with pink accents and No Coast in white with black accents.
Cobra Kai lines up at the back of the house and looking for an open lane. There's a 3-wall in her way. She's having a hard time.
Same thing with Brandon on the backside, 3-wall on the back, but she makes an open gap through around the outside, untouched. She is your lead jammer. Meanwhile, Cobra Kai stuck in that pack.
Cobra Kai finally comes out the front of the pack, but Brand-Aid enters the back of the house and cleans house. Comes out the front, a 4-point unanswered jam for Houston. That's going to make it 140 to 117, 23-point lead with 14 and a half minutes left in the contest.
I'm sure that timeout chicken was clamoring that you girls were doing it. You're doing it. You got to get back to what you were doing in the first period. That's what they're doing. However, No Coast, again, relying heavily on Flash Gloria. Going to see what they can do, lining her up on the line. And that is number 237, first time on the jam line for Houston, Shawshank.
Intentional 4th minor picked up by Beverly Kills, so that leaves 3 defenders on the line. However, No Coast only has 2.
Just under.
Slowly crawl across the pivot line.
Just under 14 minutes to go. Jammers now at the back of the pack. Flash Gloria always flashing to the front quickly. Wicked Sweet up there trying to hold her back. But you cannot, and she is your lead jammer, No Coast.
Shawshank swimming upstream.
Oh, and that was interesting. I'm sorry, a missed whip by Flash Gloria that centered her backside. 4th minor, meanwhile, called on Wicked Sweet to the box, and 4 more points for Flash Gloria.
The crowd behind us loves it. That makes it 140 to 121. I feel like the last 4 points didn't go on the scoreboard. I could be wrong about that.
We'll wait. Again, we are not referees. We let them make the rules. We can only talk about what happens. 121 to 140 is what it states on the clock. 12 minutes, 45 seconds. Jam number 10, period number 2. Slam Anderson up against Mistilla.
Right you are, Queso. And Slam Anderson comes out the front of the pack. Lead jammer, no coast. 19-point lead by Houston. They're trying to sew it up. Mistilla stuck in the back. Jammer lap point for Slam Anderson. A 2-wall in the front. Working on a grand slam.
Kelly Ripponippolov doing a good job against Mistilla, who's getting frustrated out there between step to the penalty box and not getting through. Meanwhile, 5 more points for No Coast, bringing it to 126 to 140.
Looking kind of scary here for Houston as Slam Anderson closing in once again. It is a fast-moving pack. She's having a hard time catching up to it, and a 3-wall holding Mistilla. Oh, here's Slam Anderson. Enters the back of the pack.
She's got the prosecutor in front of her, joined by the Antichrist, trying to stave something off. Jammer lap point will be awarded if she makes the way through here again.
Pack is all over the place. Only Antichrist stands in her way. Oh, and she holds her at bay long enough for the entire rest of the defense to get in front of her. So a 4-wall. What happened there?
That was a good hit out by Wicked Sweet. Scoots back to the back of the pack, has to restart over. It says, oh my gosh, I'm going to call it off. Good jam, though, but even better defensive killing by Houston.
11 minutes left, a 14-point lead. Excuse me, a 9-point lead. Wow.
Again, math, it's hard, Dwayne. 131 to 140. Just under 11 minutes to go. Dare I say it's still anyone's game?
I would say it most definitely is.
2 very tall drinks of water on the line, that being Brand-Aid for Houston and Flash Gloria, but skipping around and through quicker than analogy I can't think of was Brand-Aid for Lee Jam.
Throwing some water on the momentum of No Coast. 140, 131. Houston trying to turn this thing around. Brand-Aid enters the pack. She will not get the jammer lap point.
Well, and Brand-Aid has done the most damage here in the second period for Houston, respectively. So they need to maybe rely on her a little bit. Their jammer lineup's a little bit different than we've seen. However, Beverly Kills very capable up against also very capable Cobra Kai.
144 to 131, a 13-point lead. Houston over No Coast, just under 10 minutes left. Man, what a game. What a game.
4 on the knee to release the jammers, 4 No Coast, 3 up front, and 1 in the box for Houston as blockers. Cobra Kai knocked to the inside, does not get through clean.
Beverly Kills being held at bay for now. Cobra Kai, if she wants to take advantage, has got to do it fast. Wall in the front by Houston. It's let's say a 2.5 wall. Got her hands all over the place, but she makes it. Lead jammer, No Coast.
Oh, Beverly Kills was about to get the way through, but got knocked down from a low block. So lead jam goes to, like you said, Cobra Kai, trying to pull a little closer with 9 minutes to go.
A no pack called. Cobra Kai gets to come out the front of the pack, and it is a 4-point unanswered pass. Calls it off before Brand-Aid can get there, and a 9-point lead. 8.5 minutes left, 144, 135.
Staying in within 9 points for 2 jams is definitely a win for No Coast, as they are sending back the heavy hitters to the Dr. Hauschka jam line. The fresh faces of, and I would say fresh faces of Dr. Hauschka, but fresh they are not, because they are veterans, Brand-Aid and Flash Gloria.
I don't think that's gonna win any favors for Wendigo, as she almost tackles Miles Prowler, the outside pack ref.
So Brand-Aid in for her second rotation. Good success. She wasn't winded, so they're going to try it again. She gets knocked to the outside, but Flash Glory almost through. Oh, that was as close as you get as Flash Glory gets the lead jam. Brand-Aid on her heels. Jammer on jammer action, Dwayne.
Yeah, she is just pounding her, and Brand-Aid calling defense, trying to force a back block there. Flash Glory is not having it.
And combination of eat the clock. That's one of the things that Houston can try to do, but forcing the jam. So a successful jam for Houston.
A wry smile there from Flash Gloria. She knew she wasn't going to get it. Went in and shut it down. To try again, another jam, this time by Slam Anderson for No Coast in white, and Mistilla the Killer in black for Houston. There is a full defense on the track for both teams. Nobody in the penalty box. No Coast, knowing the clock is their enemy, takes a knee and gets this thing started.
No pack situation. Jammers released automatically. A minor multiplayer block called on somebody. A track cut on the player for No Coast. One of the blockers, but still the Killer, trying to get through, gets knocked to the outside. Both jammers right up against the line there.
Slam Anderson comes out the front of the box, but Mistilla, the lead jammer. So now Mistilla has a choice to make, and I have a feeling she's going to want to stall the clock. We'll see.
They'll make that strategy as much as they can get it. If they can get their jammer out, even without lead jammer, it is a win. You've got excellent skills on the Houston Jammers, so they can suck some time out and frustrate No Coast.
But on the other hand, you're only up by 9 points, so you're kind of playing with fire.
Exactly. There is no doubt about it. But at this point, I think that's a good strategy. And Houston says, I'm going to line up Brand-Aid again. No Coast, I'm going to line up Flash Glory again. It's the, as some of the coaches put it, they put in their oh crap lineups.
Yeah, no doubt. And it is the last game of the tournament for them, win or lose. So might as well leave it all on the track.
That's what it's all about, and Houston trying to keep that number 5 seed, and of course No Coast trying to improve upon their seeding, and which I believe is number 7. So Dwayne, pay some bills.
Well, I think we should. Let's just talk about Union Vacations. This November at the 2011 WFTDA Championships in Denver, Colorado, the Continental Divide and Conquer, an MVP will be chosen, and Union Vacations is proud to provide them with a 1-week getaway from to Mexico.
And I think they get to take a person, correct?
That is, yes.
Is the sign-up sheet up yet?
That's part of it.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Thank you, Union Vacations. Awesome.
ProTech Dent mouthguards, the first thoroughly scientific mouthguard for the Derby player. There's plenty of those on the track tonight.
Brand-Aid with a dance move on the outside of the line, trying to get through. Thicker than a snicket coming in, bouncing her into Kelly Rippon-Niboloff, but not lead jam. But first out for a minor back block is Brand-Aid. Lead jam, Dwayne.
Flash Gloria, who immediately calls it because half a track in front of her at that point is Brand-Aid.
But as we've got 30 seconds between each and then only one precious timeout between the teams, that's again another win for Houston. It winds down. I guarantee you Houston will take a one last jam with 9 points to go any day of the week. Not what they want, but they'll take it.
That is true, no question. Beverly Hills standing on the line now, facing off against Clea Smakia.
One player in the penalty box for Houston. Again, we see that front wall by one team, back wall by the other team. Strategy, they've done that a lot today, Dwayne.
Clea Smakia taken down in the front by a 3-wall. Back on her feet, threatening it again. The pack's getting kind of loose in the middle.
The problem with this is you can't have a blocker move to go help your jammer out on either end, so the jammer's got to do all their work, which both jammers do. It just so happens Clea Smakia is a little bit out in front.
But look at this. It looks like Beverly Hills comes out the front also. A beautiful assist by the defense on her side.
Oh, out there, I hope you guys are taking notes. There's a lot of different strategies. You got to take what is given to you, the card that is dealt, Dwayne. And right now, both teams are chess matching. I think Houston is doing everything they can with this narrow lead.
It is the 16th jam. It has been since number 12 since any points have been scored.
Again, Brand-Aid and Flash Gloria, we have obviously seen that both teams are now, those are the two jammers they need to rely on to finish out this bout. Flash Gloria trying to get through, one to get past that is Carmen, get it. No pack situation, but did not get through. The pack was Brand-Aid. What a interesting thing. She could have gotten through the pack because there was no pack, but she didn't make it past the wall. Meanwhile, Flash Gloria coming to the back of the pack.
Kelly Rippin-Nipplehoff goes to the box on a fourth minor. Flash Gloria with an inadvertent low block on her own blocker. Two wall goes up in front of her in the back of the pack. She maneuvers it, finds the front of the pack, and she will get the jammer lap point if she comes out. She does. It is a 5-point grand slam. We have a 144-140 game with just under 3 minutes left. Flash Gloria on her way. She may tie this up.
1 minute on the jam clock. Flash Gloria is going to play this out. There's no doubt. Wendigo in the back of the pack. Now Houston sprinting towards the front. Already points scored. That is Jekyll and the Heidi who got past. The jam is called.
Derby
4
Planet,
points.
we have a tied game with 2.5 minutes left. Houston and No Coast, look at these fans behind us.
South Central ain't no slouch. Houston and now No Coast bringing it to you. I hope you're watching out there on WFTDA.com. We have got a championship quality bout for 5th place.
3 defenders on the line on either side. Mistilla standing on the line for Houston in black. Slam Anderson for No Coast in white. Slam Anderson makes her way through the pack first.
Trying to get through, but still there is a wall not gone through yet. But still kill it on the inside. Lead jam for Houston. 150 on the jam clock and 150, a few more seconds now that I've talked, narrowed down on the clock for the period.
3 wall in the front of the house holding Slam Anderson at bay. Mistilla enters the pack. And she will put the lead back in Houston's favor.
Kelly Rippin-Nipplehoff trying to hold back Slam Anderson. The jammer up front being held back by the Angie Christ. And beautiful work by Carmen. Carmen getting her goalie blocks, but now another grand slam. Mistilla 113 in the period.
Tie game till Mistilla put a stop to the bleeding, and Goldie blocks just destroying Slam Anderson back there.
Each team has a timeout. You know they're going to be used as it gets through. Again, Mistilla with 5 more points. 15 points out of a tie here at the end of this bout.
So Houston getting a taste of what they did to Atlanta. Came from a huge deficit to threaten again, and just like Atlanta did, Houston pulling out in the end, or so it seems.
The Houston Crowds, they do have a good contention, going nuts on their feet. 19 seconds in the jam, 25 seconds in the period, milking it for everything she can. Mistilla the killer.
And this is all Angie Christ in the front of the house, holding Slam Anderson at bay. Finally, a hole opened up for Slam Anderson. She comes out the front of the pack for the first time, but the damage done. The period clock grinds down to an end, and thanks to Mistilla the Killer and the defense on the Houston side, it turns. They come in for a landing. Any landing's a good landing, as they say, and a 20-point lead, a 20-point final jam when it was tied going into it.
Boy, when you need it, Houston got it. Mistilla the Killer having trouble in the penalty box all weekend long, having an up and down weekend as a jammer, doing everything she can, the mainstay for Houston, pulling it out in the 17th jam of the second period.
Timeout called by No Coast.
Correct. 5 seconds, so we are going to have one jam.
It's going to have to be a monster jam.
It's going to have to be a monster jam. 20 points. We've had a 30-point jam. We've had a 34-point jam. I'm a betting man. Dwayne, I'll bet you they put Flash Gloria on the line.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty safe bet.
And I'm going to say Brand-Aid. In fact, I see the star helmet on both those ladies, so there's no reason to even guess. It's going to happen. The oh crap lineups are out.
Absolutely has to happen. Brand-Aid
I mean, really a major on Brand Aid is the best hope for No Coast.
We've got Jekyll and Heidi, Wendigo, and Angie Christ with 007 for Houston in the box.
Goldie Blocks.
And for No Coast.
Oh, Flash Gloria gets lead jammer. Brand Aid held in the back by a four-wall of No Coast, and Flash Gloria already there. It's going to have to be a monster jam, but she already has a grand slam.
So there's 5 points. We've got a full minute and 30 in this. Brandon gets through the inside. Grand slams are not going to come very easily. Judo No in the pack for No Coast, along with Broken Hearts trying to help Flash Glory. She squeezes through, gets into the inside, Dwayne.
Oh, out of nowhere. Out of nowhere comes Brand Aid. She answers 4 of the 5 points. And Flash Gloria still struggling to make her way through this Houston defense. They lose a blocker. That's Angie Christ, in fact. But
Angie Christ has done her job today. Props for her work in the pack. Brand Aid on the jam line, 5 points. Houston killing that Flash Gloria here in the final period. But she gets 4 more points.
No
respect for No Coast and her.
It's back to 20. And Brand Aid sent pack and has to recycle herself. Flash Gloria enters for another scoring run. 36 seconds. She's going to have to make a move right now. To the box! To the box goes Brand Aid. Flash Gloria out there on her own. It's 27 seconds to score 20 points.
Almost everything has happened in this last jam. If you turned it on here, you have seen a humdinger culminating in what we see, 153, 173, 15 seconds till 5th place for Houston, but much love to No Coast putting on a fight out there.
What a close game. Folks, I am so glad you joined us here on WFTDA.com to see this classic 5th place game of the 2011 South Central Region Playoff Tournament, the Derby Q, Show Me Derby Q, as Houston just barely by the skin of their teeth comes out on top, 173 to 57.
They are going crazy. The Derby brothers are cheering amazingly, and those in Lincoln should be very, very proud. We cannot give it up enough for the strong team that is No Coast. They will be back next year, no doubt. But today, for now, 5th place is about Houston. Houston making it back to their 5th place, going out, and the only other team besides tonight that will end with a win this weekend.
Mistilla the Killa here ringside, the veteran for Houston, with heroics in the end of that jam to come out on top. Talk about what you were feeling at the end of that game, Mistilla.
You know, we came into this tournament knowing that it was anybody's game between Atlanta and No Coast, Nashville, Tampa, and to go in at 5th and still just come out at 5th, that in itself is a victory. And they brought it. No Coast has brought it before. We knew they'd bring it today. I can't even explain to you right now what we're feeling, but it feels damn good. Those women, though, they brought it with style and class. And my Houston ladies, they rallied, and we found our inner Derby girl, and we brought it.
Amazing willpower in the Houston squad all the way back on Friday, and then today with a tie game, 2 jams out to the end, and then somehow deep down found the way to punch it through, huh?
You know, our jammers, we have a sisterhood, and we, just like the blockers, we have our own bond, and we rally together on the bench, and we feed off of our blockers, and we just dig deep, and we try to pull out, and this time we ended up on top. And thank you, Derby World, for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed that game, and thank you. I don't know, I'm just speechless right now. Thank you.
Well, you've had an excellent tournament. Thank you very much, Mistilla. Ladies and gentlemen, an emotional Mistilla, number 16, the Killa, the legendary veteran from Houston. Houston coming in 5th place in the tournament.